What's up guys, welcome back for another YgoPro duel video. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup. Second match here of Group C. We have two somewhat of the underdog decks here of this year's Cross-Banlist Cup. One familiar face from previous series of the Cross-Banlist Cup. You know, Tengu Plant is paired up against, at least for me, one of the most annoying decks ever in this game's history. And that's 2012 Dark Worlds. Pretty much Dark Worlds at full force, right? With the card destruction. Pretty much everything at 3 with a tour guide as well, immediately fetching a Dark World monster, going for something like Levier and gain some more advantage out of that. A double torrential tribute, but one of the most annoying cards being dragged down into the grave. You know, free information about your opponent's hand and pretty much rip them from there out to your field. And back in those days, that was most of the time something like Heavy Storm to, you know, have some safe back row. Protect your field spell, your Gates of the Dark World, right? One of your MVPs, but the most, or at least the biggest MVP of Dark World is, of course, Grapha. But yeah, which deck has the advantage? Well, maybe a bit 50-50. I think, on the other hand, Dark World should have the advantage due to the fact that, you know, Grapha is like a quote-unquote unfair card, but you know, you can't really compare it to today's standards of Link format, but again, something that revives itself quite easily once per turn against, again, one of the older decks here in this year's Cross-Banlist Cup, 2012 Tengu Plants. Tengu Plants definitely a very hard matchup. Also, the hand traps aren't really too alive, too big against something like Dark Worlds. Okay, so let's not waste any more time. Let's hop into the first duel. Alright, first game. I think the opponent gets to start. Indeed, the opponents... No, Tengu Plants get to start, I get to start. And one of the best opening plays, normal summon Tengu and set one back row. Those were the times, right? Compared to today's format, Link format of emptying your hand, vomit your whole hand to the field and establish your big board. Nope, Tengu Plant 2011 was a normal summon Tengu, set one back row. It wasn't always like that, but you know, those were the days. That's a decent start, although he needs to unbrick his hand. That's why he, I assume, you know, went for the tour guide into Sangen to hopefully, at least that's now what we are seeing, you know, get a draw off of Sangen and hopefully like 2 draws after that with the Dark World dealings as well. And he was able to sack his way out of it with the Grapha indeed. And I think I had to go for Trishula. Another play was, you know, maybe something, go for Black Rose first, but again, I have no way to get rid of Grapha. At least I can't go for Black Rose and follow it up with Trishula to, you know, get rid of the Grapha that's in the graveyard. I could have gone for like Librarian with the Synchro, but again, what would have been my plays after that? I think my only play was, and that's the one I went for, was to go for Trishula, sacrificing the Librarian, and if he doesn't have one of his warnings, I believe warning is a 2 in this Dark World deck list, or the Judgment, I should have the game. You know, banishing the Grapha from his graveyard, something from the field and something from his hand. That's super devastating against Dark World. But again, he had one of those few outs. So yeah, I can't do anything about that, right? BLS definitely was a nice top deck. My plan here was to banish the Zen mains, since Grapha is not really a threat. If it wasn't for Grapha, you can just, you know, well, if it was the other side, at least the other way around, I could have special summoned BLS in defense position and, you know, banish the Grapha, and again, Zen mains would not have been able to, you know, suicide crash into an attack position BLS to get rid of raw material. And here, I knew it was pretty much game rights, since again, I can't get rid of Zen mains' both materials and eventually use the battle phase to, you know, attack over the Grapha. But now we see he does have Dark Hole, so it wouldn't have mattered in the long run. In game number 2, opening Thunder King, which was, again, a very strong play in the format and definitely can be a strong play against a lot of decks throughout the history of this game. You know, prevents searching, etc. Or your opponent needs to waste like a huge special summon, like a synchro summon on it to, you know, force its tribute effect. But again, Dark World can easily get rid of it. It's very tempting to use 1-for-1 here, but again, there is like the chance of him having a warning, so I don't think that was a that would be a correct play. He does use quite an early Reckless Greed, but again, he has a lot of luck of drawing into a second copy. I think I have to go for Chaos, possibly luring out a Warning or a Judgment. He does have the Judgment again, so I can follow it up with a lovely 1-for-1 Dandelion. Again, I think I have to go for it, maybe risk a second Warning or something like that, and go for Trishula. And you know, Trishula banishing the Engraved Grapha, the on-field Grapha, and maybe, you know, 1 out of 3 chances that I'm going to banish the Grapha in his hand. Again, he chained Reckless Greed, so that's 1 out of 5. I missed it, but luckily he doesn't have a follow-up play in the form of a field spell of, you know, discarding something. Well, at least get his Grapha in the graveyard and, you know, reborn it later. So this was a GG for Tengu Plant. Also important, game number 3, and that's something that the Dark Worlds want. They want to open the duel, you know, Dark World dealings, get some free draws, get Grapha into the graveyard, and with Dark World dealings, you know, get free information about your opponent's hand, and on top of that, get rid of some, you know, like a big card from your opponent. Again, he has Card Destruction. That card is so disgusting. I believe it was at the end of Dark World format, you know, during those times that eventually Card Destruction also got the X. But again, he already has so much advantage. Even now, you know, Torrential Tribute for an entire field. Okay, I get a Search out of Sang and Searching Spirit Reaper, since I'm not really sure if Dark World has too many outs to an already phase-up Spirit Reaper. Unless I'm just mistaken, right, since I believe his 3 Graphas are already in the graveyard. That's what I mean. But it's not going to matter. Thanks to Bash, he's able to, you know, get 3 Graphas eventually on board, also due to Leviair Dragon. So, what can I do, right? Get wrecked by Dark Worlds. So, nothing I can do about that. Tengu Plants will get 1 point and Dark Worlds will get 2 points. Okay, I think this was a good matchup, but again, those banned cards can be quite crucial. Especially in case of Dark Worlds, where Card Destruction was definitely, again, one of those Solemn Judgment as well, right? A few crucial Solemn Judgments throughout these duels. So again, Dark Worlds will get the 2 points, Tengu Plants will end up with 1 point. Definitely expect maybe another Cross-Banlist duel slash match later this week, probably this weekend, again depending on the new support that's coming out really soon, like the Vendrats, right? Okay guys, that's it. Thanks for watching and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.